February 21st, 1977. At approximately 9 p.m. on a cold winter night, Chicago firefighters responded to a call from a lakefront residential building. When the firemen arrived, they found that the blaze was confined to an upper floor apartment. Inside, a mattress in the middle of the living room floor was engulfed in flames. Initially, the apartment seemed unoccupied, but soon the firemen made a grim discovery. Beneath the mattress, they found the body of a woman named Teresita Bassa. She had been stabbed in the chest. It also appeared that she had been raped, and the fire set in an attempt to cover up the murder. The police were bewildered by this brutal crime. The official autopsy revealed that Teresita Bassa had not been raped. There was no apparent motive and little physical evidence. The investigation quickly reached a dead end. Then, nearly 6 months later, police were startled by a lead as mystifying as the crime itself. A Chicago couple claimed that the victim, Teresita Bassa, had named her own killer after she was murdered, speaking to them from beyond the grave. Teresita Bassa had moved to the United States from the Philippines in the 1960s. She worked as a respiratory therapist at a Chicago hospital.
Breathe in deeply and slowly, and open your mouth.
Co-workers described Teresita as a dedicated professional who gave all her time and energy to her patients. She seemed to have absolutely no enemies until the night of February 21st.
Joe.
Smoke and fire damage had destroyed all fingerprints, and nothing seemed to be missing from Teresita's apartment. Veteran Chicago detective Joe Stahula was totally baffled.
No, we better get the crime lab up here and have them go through it.
The only real piece of evidence we found was a memo indicating that she was expecting to obtain some theater tickets for a subject by name of A.S., who might have been expected at the apartment on that night.
Joe Stahula desperately grasped at any straw that held out hope of solving the case. 5.5 months after the murder, he responded to a strange call that would take his investigation into the realm of the paranormal.
Dr. Borda? Yes. I'm Detective Stahula from the Chicago Police Department.
A Filipino physician had heard about Teresita Bassa through his wife. The two women had worked together at the hospital. The doctor and his wife have requested anonymity. We will call them Enrico and Alicia Borda. They would tell Stahula an unbelievable but compelling story.
What I'm about to tell you may sound bizarre.
You see, I worked with the late Teresita. We were both respiratory therapists at the hospital.
Alicia told Detective Stahula of a strange series of events that took place after Teresita's death. Late one night, after working a long shift, Alicia had gone to a hospital lounge for a short nap. She said that seconds after she closed her eyes, she felt a ghostly presence in the room. It was Teresita Bassa.
At first, I thought I was dreaming. I could not believe my eyes. But she is looking at me, staring at me. I did not know what to do. I was so frightened. I pray.
A couple of weeks after Alicia had seen Teresita,
The Borders went on to tell of a second experience 2 weeks later, this time at their home.
Alicia.
That night, Alicia had gone to bed early, complaining of extreme fatigue. Her husband had gone into the bedroom to check on her.
Dr. Borda said he asked her if she was all right, and he said her voice was different.
Help me.
And attempting to get his wife to talk more, he asked her, "Who are you?"
What is your name?
Teresita Bassa.
He was confused because he did not know Teresita Bassa at the time.
You must go to the police. The police cannot find my killer. Tell them his name is Alan Showery. Tell them.
A Upon listening to this, I really picked up now, A.S. Finally know who A.S. And I asked him that he knew who Alan Showery was. And he indicated from the voice, from Teresita Bassa, that Alan Showery was an orderly that worked at the hospital with both his wife and Teresita Bassa. He said the first session only lasted about 30 minutes, and then at the end his wife woke up. He asked her if she knew what happened. She said she didn't. And then he sort of put it in the back of his mind and didn't act on it. He said then there was a second session where the voice again possessed his wife, and at this time the voice became more insistent.
Why did you not go to the police? Why?
He said he could not do anything to really help her, and the police couldn't do anything, that they would need evidence.
I will give you proof.
And at this point, the voice indicated that she had some evidence for him, that it was her jewelry.
After he killed me, he took my jewelry. He gave it to his girlfriend.
First thought that came into mind is, how can I put this on an official police report? But at this point, we began a background check on Alan Showery. Besides knowing Teresita Bassa at the hospital, he lived a short distance from her. Do either of you recall Teresita Bassa ever mentioning that Alan Showery was going to go over to her apartment? We also learned from co-workers at the hospital that Alan Showery was expected over at Teresita's apartment that night to repair her television. Last time Alan was over. This was probably the best clue that we had, putting him on the scene at the approximate time of the murder.
Detective Stahula brought Alan Showery in for questioning.
Alan, when was the last time that you were at Teresita Bassa's apartment?
Showery admitted he had gone to Teresita's apartment that night to repair her television.
I was there, but I was just there to fix the television, and I didn't have my tools. I didn't have the right
He
tools.
claimed he was unable to fix the set and returned to the apartment he shared with his girlfriend.
Alan, that's not true. You went back. We decided to contact the girlfriend and ask her if Alan had given her any jewelry recently within the last several months or weeks. So when we contacted her, she indicated, yes, he had.
Alan Showery's girlfriend agreed to let Teresita Bassa's relatives and friends inspect the jewelry Alan had given her.
Look at it and see if there's anything you can recognize or looks familiar to you. The family members immediately recognized a large green piece of jade and several other distinctive pieces of jewelry. Is there any other piece here look familiar?
The ring. That's Teresita's ring.
Ring on her finger?
Yeah, she was wearing it the last time I saw her.
Did Alan give you that ring?
Yes, he did.
How long ago did he give it to you?
I don't know, it was about 3 months ago.
It's all over, Alan. Teresita Bassa's family just identified the jewelry. Now, I want to know what happened.
Confronted with this evidence, Showery made a full confession.
That night when I left for her apartment,
Alan said that, yes, he had gone over there to work on Teresita Bassa's television set. However, he returned home, and on the way back, formulated this plan to murder and rob Teresita.
I'm coming.
Alan returned to the apartment, and when Teresita let him in, and she turned her back to lock the door, he said he quickly moved up behind her and placed a chokehold on her neck, holding it until she stopped struggling. He then dragged her body into the living room, where he disrobed her to make it look like it was a rape robbery type of scene. And then went into the bedroom and obtained the mattress off her bed, placing it over the body and setting the top of the mattress on fire.
While it defies belief, is it somehow possible that Teresita Bassa could have spoken through Alicia Borda to catch her own killer? One thing is certain. Without the information Alicia provided, police would never have known the jewelry was missing, and Alan Showery would never have been arrested. Despite his confession, Alan Showery pled not guilty to a charge of murder. But when a mistrial was declared because of a hung jury, Showery suddenly reversed himself and admitted his guilt. He was sentenced to 14 years in prison.